Hey y'all, what's going on? Okay. Y'all know we're here to talk about American Gods. Okay? Now, I don't know how the hell I'm going to talk about this, but I mean, it's really... And I want to talk about a few little things off the Potomac hose. Okay, let's just go to the Potomac hose first. First of all, I would need somebody to tell me what's going on with Miss Dwight, the Miss Mommy, because she said they sold their home or whatever. It's just something off, and I'm kind of like, oh girl, Sharice, even though I know she's not saying something's off, like in a nice kind of cutesy pootsy, I'm caring about you kind of way. It's always shade with them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's no one or two ways about it. It is always shade with them. That's the bottom motherfucking line with all of the hoes. But is it that, and did I miss the part where they talked about maybe they were having some financial issues, which anybody can have. But the problem is that people begin to talk about it because you make such a riff, or they make such a riff, those that talk about, oh, I have this, and oh, nothing but the best, and oh, this, that, and the third, when really, in all actuality, whatever you have is the best at whatever station you at. But they make such a big deal about having this much more. So if they do have a shortfall or something, of course, everybody's going to pick up on it. Where under normal circumstances, and y'all, if y'all looking at my eyes, I have got a summer cold, allergy, whatever the hell you want to call it. But I'm just wondering what the hell is going on with the money that's a miss, and it just seems like it's something with money. They moving out of Potomac. You know that's that bitch's claim to fame, honey. Potomac, hun, Giselle. And Giselle, girl, your motherfucking makeup is atrocious. I hope you don't try to sell no motherfucking makeup, bitch. I thought I seen that you was going to try to sell something. No, ma'am. I don't want any. I can do without it. Your eyeshadow is always a wreck, honey. In the last episode, bitch, that pink shit you had on. Oh, girl. And why do all of y'all hair always look a fucking mess? And when I say hair, I'm talking about y'all that be wearing the wigs from Sharice to Giselle to Dwight, Mrs. Dwight. I think Little Miss Piss, Lord, Sweaty Coochie, the one married to the Australian dude, she just, it's pretty much her hair. And the same thing with Robin. And Miss Honey Cabbage that just came in, the new one, her hair looks pretty good. Although she is kind of testing me. You do what you want to do with your children. But y'all, can y'all tell me why that bitch felt the need to spend $30,000 on a 1-year-old's birthday party? Yes, it's your child and do what you want to do for your child, but wouldn't you want to do something like that with all the petting zoo and this, that, and the third when she could really understand what's going on? You know what I mean? Just because you have it don't mean you have to be foolish and frivolous. In one tone, she says, I don't use profanity, but in the other, you prove that you're a bad steward. Now, one would say that she must be a good steward because look at all the things they have. But a good steward has things set aside and lives modestly for the rainy day. I'm just saying, since she pointed out that she doesn't use profanity, this, that, and the third. And I'm just kind of looking at that, y'all. Something about her that rubs me wrong. And I just know that, and I don't give a fuck what that bitch say, honey. She knew what side her bread was butter on when she got with that big ass man. Do you hear me? Come on now. I ain't buying it, but girl, I understand that as time went on, you'd have fell in love, and it could be to get down. That could be your thing. Keep having them babies, and let's hope that money keeps rolling in. That's what I see. What I will say that I do like about her is the incorporation of her showing that they do like having family around, like doing things with family or whatever, Now, it could either be that we are very family orientated, or I done just rubbed everybody else wrong, and it's the only family that's going to be doing me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I do love. I love the dynamics of seeing the family around. And why is my neighbor's kids out? It is 10:50. Damn, I ain't throwing this one out. It's got a chip. Y'all love this damn coffee cup, and I ain't throwing it out. It got a chip. Now my mom would be like, girl, it got a chip, let it go. Anyway, but I'm just, you know, I don't know, y'all. And today they had the whole thing where Miss Honey Cabbage read all of the replies about what happened at the restaurant. She's going through, you know, after last week, her and her husband having this disagreement, her threatening him with divorce, and, you know, her holding that over his head. But girl, come on, bitch. Now, do we not know what side the bread is buttered on? I do think it's cute that you are giving off these, I'm independent, I ain't in it just for the money tease, bitch. You would be a lie, because partially, even if it's just 20%, bitch, you like that comfort, so stop. It is him who affords you to be able to do this fuck up, which is that motherfucking restaurant and that bar that you got with the emu and all that bullshit. Ooh, girl, So she's reading through the shit, but did y'all check this? And if you didn't, go back and look at it, because me and my husband, I was like, when her husband came in to the restaurant or whatever they calling it, the look on the bartender's face. Now I want y'all to go back and look at this shit. And I'm going to ask my male loves and shit. I'm going to ask my male loves. And of course, ladies, y'all gonna say how you feel. But I want to know, did it seem like he was a little tight for whatever reason? Now, is that, I don't think it's her family. It was just some tension there when the husband came in, and then the bartender was like, here's a drink. What, was it me? Because I was like, oh, bitch. Oh, shit. The fuck we got going on here? You know, I was like, you know, my husband was kind of, when I said to him, he was like, Because, I mean, just because I'm telling y'all, I know had it have been my husband, he'd have been like, okay, yes, this is our business or whatever, but, you know, you awful comfortable in here with him. The fuck, why y'all so comfortable? As I would have been like, now I wouldn't act the whole fool in my shit, but I'd have been, I'm going to need to talk to you for a minute. I don't know what's with you and the bitch, the bartender bitch. Today's her last day, but you know, now depending on how this go, but what's all that y'all was doing? And the bitch, when she hands me my drink, like, now y'all, I'm gonna keep it real. Now I'm gonna keep it real. I might have jumped across the motherfucking bar on that bitch's ass, and I might have been completely wrong. I probably would have been wrong, but the way that shit was set up, I was like, you know, it's just certain things you don't do, and that's not to say that I don't speak to who I want to speak to or whatever. He ain't like over me and I ain't over him. No. But for some reason that shit did not set with me. It was something between her and when he came in. It was just something. Y'all go back and look. Because he was mugging the shit out of the dude and was like, yeah, and I'm just like, you know, I don't know. I want y'all to go back and look at that, fellas. If that would have been the scene with your wife, you walking in y'all bar that you didn't pay for, would you have felt something? Was there something? And what, or is it just me? Because y'all, I'm telling you, it was something. Anyway, they're out there talking, and she's, you know, he's coming to apologize, but she's not really receptive to what he's giving, and you know, even though he's coming to apologize, they're trying to work on it. Look, little bitch, let me tell you something. You need to grow the fuck up. Let me just tell you that right now. If you'll let a motherfucking business, bitch, and that wasn't your coin, that's his coin out there. Let's be clear. Y'all are married. Y'all together now, but you know who made that money. And of course, he's going to be concerned about it. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, you do not let your marriage go for some shit like that. Especially, girl, you selling emu and shit. It ain't even like the motherfuckers really jumping or whatever. You trying to make something out of nothing. I'm sorry. I don't see it, honey. I don't see a whole bunch of motherfuckers saying, well, what we gonna have? Italian, Mexican, Chinese. Now let's have some Australian. Let's have us some motherfucking kangaroo, bitch. I'm in the mood for some kangaroo. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, but maybe I'm wrong. You know, but I just don't see that. I really don't see you letting your shit go down the drain. And then even when y'all have, you know, you go to old girl's overly expensive party and talk to her dad and her dad kicks it to you. you know, the actual factuals. And it seems like you thinking things through. But when you and him when y'all at the little clay shit and y'all trying to pull a ghost, you still are giving me some tease because you like, you know, you asked him, do we love each other? Are we in love? And he's like, yeah, I think we, you know, he's like, I'm in love with you, but I don't see that from you. Something is lost with you. Like he's ready to say that we, you know, we've been disagreeing a lot, but I still love you. But you kind of like, I need to get back to this bitch. You too motherfucking early in your marriage, bitch, to be hitting that motherfucking road. It makes me believe that it was shortcomings in the beginning. I get the feeling, y'all tell me that this man cares about her more than she cares about him. And she definitely she's been talking about that age shit a little bit more. Y'all leave that shit alone and let me know, you know. And obviously, bitch, you wasn't ready to play that game. You know what I'm saying? There's some bitches out there be like, bitch, I don't give a fuck. No, honey, we're never falling the fucking apart. No, we're not, baby. You say get right, all right. As a matter of fact, anything that would take my attention from you, I just really don't want to deal with it. What are your suggestions? Maybe I shouldn't have did this, so this, that, the third. Honey, there's some bitches out there who play the game, honey, and would never give that man the impression that maybe I ain't, or let him get the impression that he ain't, honey. They be throwing that young coochie on him every time he drew a breath. Just push, boom, boom, boom. It just be put, girl, please, sir. And let me tell you something else, honey. It's some motherfucking 30-year-olds. It's some motherfucking cougars and shit will throw some motherfucking coochie on that money, honey. Let me tell you. I'm just saying, you know, you should marry for love or whatever, but let's be motherfucking clear and let's be real. It's a lot of motherfucking women that marry for comfort, security, and all of that. And in normal circumstances, even in the animal kingdom, and I've said this before, they want the alpha male that's going to protect, take care of, blah, 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 blah. And you wouldn't be wrong for wanting the best. What it is, bitch, you don't have no feeling for them at all, bitch, and your sole goal is to be a motherfucking piece of, you know, arm candy or whatever. No, I ain't going for that, but, bitch, if you going out and doing shit like that, bitch, you got to play the part. You know, threatening him with divorce and all that, bitch, who really stands to lose? Shit, he don't strike me as a dumb man. So I'm sure he got his shit clad tight for that ass. You might get something. And then again, maybe you was in love with him because you ain't even laid up and had the baby to hook him. You know, maybe. I could be wrong. You know, but it's just like something else is in the air with her. I don't know. Y'all leave that shit below. Let me see what else. Giselle. Oh, let me go to Robin and her whole shit. Robin, girl, that man don't want you no more. He wants the convenience of knowing that you in there taking care of them kids, having that roof, you cooking, cleaning, whatever. He know he can get some ass from you and then go to get some ass from whom he wants to get it from, and that emotional attachment to them as well. So the sooner you stop being the motherfucking toilet, the motherfucking walking mat, or whatever the fuck you being, bitch, it's time. It's time, and it seems to me like he done found something new any motherfucking way. You the one holding on, so you keep on trying to pretend family, but yet y'all divorced, but yet you there, but yet you like the living maid and pussy. But I don't know. You girl, you went to therapy. Maybe you do want it. You don't want it with anybody else. You want it with him, and I'm not telling you you're wrong for that, but bitch, this is the point. You at that crossroads, bitch, where you got to make that decision because he's already made it. You convenient. His situation being in that house is convenient. And it seems to me that he's getting more and more irritable by you, not his children. He don't want you no more. He knows that he has to do some things to appease you to keep things the way it is, rather than move out and be in a new place because he ain't got enough coin for that. Bitch, it's time to move the fuck on. But, you know, that's your marriage. She goes and the therapist tries to help her, and, you know, she gonna do her own thing. And apparently on the next episode when she go out of town, somebody gonna try to pick up. She ain't going nowhere. She gonna be there, but he's gonna be the one to leave, and she gonna be still left there, hoping that he'll come back and come to his senses. You know, she's the kind of broad that will let him run through 5 or 6 bras and then keep coming back to you. But you say you was butthurt about what the fuck he did when he cheated on you in the beginning. Well, bitch, could you have been that hurt? Because you should have just left. I'm just saying, but let's move forward. Everybody endures things differently, whatever. Yeah, my little twisted, braided dude. Yeah, this the end of the day, and this her dude that had it, huh? Anywho, so we have that Giselle doesn't get to go to the little thing with the kids. Robin lets her know, oh, well, you wasn't invited. And then, what was that whole dinner they were trying to have where they was trying to get along? Giselle, you know what? You throw too much shade for me. And why are you always in some goddess gown? Bitch, you are not no goddess. Girl, ooh. But keep hope alive, honey. You know, you was dismissive of her with the hand. She ain't buying it from you. She's not going to let you give her that kind of fever. But y'all, was it me or was I looking at that whole scene when they was at the table and remind me of school days? The wannabes on this side and the so-called jigaboos on the other side. Because that's the way they were set up. You know, you had a big-headed ass, what's her face? And then Giselle on one side, and then Christine, what is her name, Chap? Whatever the bitch's name is, the one that's been separated from my husband. And then the new chick. And they trying to get some type of understanding, and there was none. There is going to be none. My thing is this. If you ain't digging a bitch, you ain't digging them. Be cordial, hi. That's it to the whole, you know, when you speak to everybody. Hey, everybody. And go on and talk to whom you want to talk to. Just let that be your cordial. You know, but y'all, y'all getting on my damn nerves. Anywho, so, y'all getting on my nerves. Y'all didn't work shit out. She ain't gonna let you dismiss her by doing this and, you know, whatever. Then let me go to the part where Miss Honey Cabbage, who's trying to come to grips with the man who been gone, bitch, you late too coming to grips, has Miss Mummy, because y'all, she looked like Dwight, has her over there at the pool thing. Let's get in the pool. She's eager for them to get in. And I'm like, did the bitch just not know what to say or what? You know, she's like, oh, you sold the house and it seemed like the price was going down, down, and down. Are you really saying that's your friend? Then you're like, if something ain't right about that, she done sold the house. Why she ain't looking for something else, you know? Blah, blah, blah. She already said, I'm going to be the grand dame of wherever I'm at. You, girl, if you don't believe it, won't nobody else. Trust me. But she's still kind of like, what's going on? In the midst of that, they decide, let's go on a trip. And I got to go back and look. But I'm still like, well, who did bring it up? Was it Dwight, Mr. White, or was it old girl? But at any rate, girl, your functions are terrible. So old girl's going to do it with you. I don't know why y'all making a big deal out of it. Y'all got into it about it like you had an attitude with her. Y'all, you know, over this planning a motherfucking trip to go out of town. Bitch, just go out of town. You know, find out what's going on. Pick a couple venues to go to. Ladies, let's just be easy and have a good time. You grandiose ass bitches always want to do too motherfucking merch. Always. Making a big deal out of motherfucking nothing. See, I couldn't be around none of you bitches. Because I would just be like, shut the fuck up. Like, girl, we can just go out of town, bitch. It ain't got to be all of this Potomac and what we're doing and da-da-da and oh, I'm this and I'm that. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. Miss Dwight, girl, we know that man found you on the motherfucking phone, bitch. As grand as you want to say you are, okay, whatever. Which ain't nothing wrong with being, you know, in the country on the farm, but bitch, you do act like you's an extra bitch, like you came off the extra motherfucking line, like you the better than everybody else. You and Giselle, you just the old version and she's just almost there where you at. You bitches are both gonna be on the hill at the same time. Two goats up on that motherfucker. Potomac, bitch, Potomac, bitch, please. Honey, I have had some loves white men say, honey, I'm in Potomac. I don't know what the fuck these bitches are talking about. Ooh, I can't. Anywho, y'all arguing back and forth about that so much so that she come to the house, to your house, and y'all gonna work this shit out, and oh, we had a rift. It was just ridiculous and boring. What else? Besides them getting their eyelashes done, Giselle was glad she wasn't invited, but girl, the look on your face said something else. You know, I think maybe you was upset. You was like, well, I would have said no anyway. I don't think you would have said no. Because, bitch, you seem like a bitch that want to RSVP to every motherfucking thing. If you don't go to everything, bitch, it ain't anything or whatever. Now, just life goes on without your motherfucking pooched up ass. And, girl, do something with your makeup, bitch. Do something with your fucking makeup, bitch. And don't be talking about you gonna sell some makeup looking like you out of motherfucker that they at the motherfucking funeral home to see, bitch, but yet you're sitting out in the crowd wondering who, bitch, you are the one they think they there to give the bereavement to. Just, dead, bitch. I'm tired of it. Work that shit out, bitch. I was acting so grand and doing too much. Girl, go on. Ooh, y'all, honey, we need some new shows. Where's the Miami hip hop hoes at? I don't give a fuck, bitch. Find the real garbage holes of the garbage can. I don't give a fuck. Find something else. Anywho, I just want to kind of talk about that. With that said, American Gods. American Gods. I am fucking confused with what happened tonight. So, we know that we ended off the last episode with them being in the police station and the trees and shit, chasing them down from the tree god because the telephone and TV guy was there, and you know, all of that. And Mr. World or whomever. So, okay. So they make it out of it, and let's just let me start. Let's go on and start with the first scene. The first scene is, I'm assuming, in Mexico across the border, and some Mexicans trying to make it across to the United States for a better, you know, a chance to thrive and get away from whatever they're trying to get away from. It looks like everybody's there. One lady is praying. She looks like an older lady. She's praying, and then this other chick who looks like she's the guide begins to tell him, look, it rained last night. This current is going to be even worse. If you cannot swim, do not try to come across this water. Now, bitch, you would not have had to have told me that twice. Now, everybody's like, okay, but then the camera kind of pans to this guy, which is a couple. It's a chick and him, and I'm just like, well, which one of them can't swim? Now, he's holding the hand of the young lady, and as she's kind of walking on and the hand's coming loose, you can see that he has a tattoo of Christ on the cross. They begin to go across. He's the last one. And apparently he must have been like, well, I can't. And maybe that's the significance of her letting his hand go, because she knew he couldn't either. But she's got to go on. But he decides to go on and go forth. So they all going, getting the babies across. And everybody's getting there. And the guide gets up there first and pulls in maybe one or two. Well, and says, listen, we don't go across until we all go across. So here he is lagging. All of a sudden he's swimming. His ass is going down. And there's a hand that reaches down and gets him. But you don't see who it is. I'm thinking it's the old girl, and that's who I assumed it is. But when he gets pulled up and brought out, he says, thank you, and who are you? And he says, you know who I am. So when you see the look, it is like it's the Lord. You know, not the white Christian Lord, the one they like to believe in. I'm just saying, not that one, you know, not blonde hair and blue eyed. But still, nonetheless, didn't have hair of wool, but we will go forward. And so, you know who I am, and he gets this gleam in his eye, and they kind of up there, and these cars come, and you see these lights, and it's like, well, maybe that's their hookup, you know, how they gonna get through. Honey, it's motherfucking guns, but what they did do was kind of pan in on this gun and what it said on it. So I instantly begin to think, okay, so I know what this is. They really symbolizing the fuck out of some shit on this one. And it made me think about what happened on that episode when Wednesday said, there's been all kinds of, different versions of the Lord. The white, the white one, the Mexican one, the black one, the this, that, and the third. And, you know, I go to that and I'm like, okay, well, I know what this gun signifies. And I do see the ending of that and what it truly was, honey, and who it was that was shooting at people like they were dogs and like they were not human beings, because they feel like they are innately on the right to the whole world because we are the supreme, when really you're not. You're just another human being. You just like to fabricate shit. There's so much delusion there. So they shoot the guide and they shoot these people and they don't stop. And it doesn't matter if it's children. And you see one that is targeting a child that, you know, and shoots the child and this, that, and the third. It doesn't matter. Because in their mind, well, they less than us. We are the true Christians, blah, 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 blah. And so we can kill them because they're nothing. They shouldn't have tried to come over here. Well, honey, what would have happened if the Indians would have did that? Huh. But we're going to move forward because I'll go into some other shit and I'm going to stay the course. So there's a point where the guy who put him out, which I guess symbolizing the Mexican Jesus, and he puts his hand up and they shoot through his hand and shoot him in his chest and he falls down. Now the guy that was held back who couldn't swim, he was with a lady and then a child, and they were sitting there. They didn't show what happened with them, but they did show the guy, you know, the Mexican Jesus, well, what they were trying to say, but I don't know. That's just the symbolism of it, that he was there, you know, bleeding and dead. Now, could the shade be is that we will not have no truth coming over here. We will not have him depicted as he really is. We will not stand for anything but blonde hair and blue eyed. And we will do it by any means necessary. You either believe what we believe or you die. Okay, Bougie, get on back around there. Bouge, you're gonna knock my thing off. So I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? So we have that. Then we have where Shadow and Mr. Wednesday's walking down the road, and Shadow's like, what the fuck? And, you know, Mr. Wednesday's giving him these, you know, all of this extra shit. And he's like, can you just answer a motherfucking question without all that shit? And he's kind of like, you know. He was like, what is that? And what is this, that, and the third? Him still not being able to believe. He asked him who he was. And he was like, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. Then Shadow says, but I believe in something, because I saw my wife tonight, which Wednesday knows this. Because apparently Odin has those two crows or cranes or whatever we calling them birds are his. And they, you know, in that lore, in that, you know, they, you know, believe that Odin had these birds. So we know that the bird had been and tapped on his door and told him about Mrs. Stinky being there. And he's totally against that. He's telling him, listen, you know, so much so that when they get to the car, he's like, you need to get the fuck away from her. They go back into the room and it's like, oh, so this is the life after death, this, that, and the third. He's not digging her at all. He knows that it's going to be a problem, but I'm beginning to feel like Wednesday, y'all, I'm beginning to feel like Wednesday, in a lot of ways, seems to be the evil. You know what I mean? Like, if you've been watching it, he's just, it's just, you know, everybody has something negative to say about him. And watch out for him. He's a trickster, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. You know, and I'm just like, well, is he? You know, is he really leading Shadow, and he's wanting Shadow because ultimately, in the end, Shadow Moon is going to have to be the one to go against him or whatever. I don't know. I'm getting something different. I don't know. And I know a lot of y'all have read the book and this, that, and the third, and I haven't. I'm just going to kind of watch the show and see how, you know, how it turns out. But I'm just getting some other teas from that. Okay. So old girl's gone now. She's there and is running behind the car. There's one scene where she's running behind the car. He turns the music up because he don't want him to hear her yelling. All she can see is that gold beacon because he's like a gold beacon to her. Meanwhile, the motherfucking leprechaun is running around. He wants his motherfucking coin and shit. You know, he's like, look, I need that coin. She ain't trying to do it, but he needs to go somewhere else. She needs a car. And he's like, I got a car, but I'm going to need that coin about you. You know, and he tells her, I know what you need. You need to meet yet again, bring the Lord in. You need to meet up with the Messiah. You need a resurrection, a real resurrection. So he's saying we need to go to Kentucky. Meanwhile, they trying to get these cars. He goes to a cab, which turns out to be old dude who was with the gin. And I'm thinking he's the gin now, but he's looking for the gin because the gin didn't gave him some good coffee. Okay. And he's like, get away from my cab. You're trying to steal it. Blah, blah, blah. The leprechaun dude, he's like, I don't want her to drive because he knows that she is only going to see wherever Shadow's going. And he knows where Shadow's going. You know. But he's like, I need to go to Kentucky. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's where bullshit lies, honey, well, Kentucky would be the spot. You know, so he wants to go there. They all get in ultimately in the end. And the dude who's the cab driver drives and he's like, I'm nobody. My name changed and this, that, and the third. And he's kind of, because he's trying to find the gin. And old dude, the leprechaun said, I'll take you where the gins are. You know. Because he apparently lost who he was and he's chasing after him. And now that he done had him, he's got to know more. And the leprechaun's back there in the back talking about, oh, so you done let him, you know, you done rubbed one out of, you know what I mean? Like he didn't, what did he say? He didn't put one in your genie something and you done helped him to rub one out. He's being obnoxious. He done called old girl the C word, honey. She done grabbed his lips and the flies are still on her and the bitch is stinking. And he said, are you dead? Because you smell dead, bitch. I about fell out. Because her stinking ass is running around with this dead ass flesh, smoking cigarettes. Which, bitch, I guess. And she's like, yeah. And they are having this moment where they are kind of, and I don't know if it's that now that he has done what he's done, he's dead inside until he gets back with the gin. What the case is, but they kind of have an understanding, you know, and they talking. And as old dude goes to sleep, she grabs the wheel and makes him go down a different road. Now, the screen changes and it goes to like this little map and you have them riding. You have Shadow and Wednesday on their way to Virginia. Oh, Virginia, honey. We are talking Kentucky, so y'all know we bordered the shit out of that too. So they go to Virginia, but what Virginia, which was befitting, I really think it could have been Kentucky. But Virginia, it was like this town with this guy that he wants to get with, who apparently was one of them gods too, and they worship him, and he became, you know, I guess fire or whatever, guns or whatever. You see right off, and ain't number white folks there. They didn't have like the swastika on it, but I believe that's what it was meant to be. Now there he is riding in here with this black Cadillac and this black man, and before they even was able to do that, Shadow was fucked up at a tree, and he had to pull the shit out of Shadow and shit like that. Let me just mention that because that shit was gross. I had to turn my damn head. So apparently the tree go in and, you know, and it was moving and it was worms and I can't. So I don't even want to, okay, that happened. Not with the worms. So they riding, and he's like, well, what is this? And he was like, wherever he's at, you know, this is where, basically it was Virginia. It was the America only, and America is whatever they deem it to be. Everybody sees it a certain way, and I got the shade that they was doing. Everybody has a claim on it some kind of way. When really, real talk, there's only one group that wants to make a claim on the United States, as if they were already here, and they were not. You know, so I got where they were going with that. And there they were with their guns shooting up. And then you had this scene where he pushed the old dude into the fire, which was sacrificing him. And I said, well, that's befitting. They all, it looks like a happy town or whatever, just a town full of hate and bigotry. You know, oh, it's us only, us against them, and it's us, whites only pies, and we ain't gonna, you know, and it was befitting for him to be there being fire, war, whatever he was, just hate-filled. You know, so I guess Virginia would be. I mean, although it could have been a couple of differences, it could have been here, but I mean, there's a lot of places it could have been. Montana, Colorado. It's a lot of places it could have been. Mm-hmm. So Shadow's kind of like, you know, and once old dude died, they there as far as you know, commemorating, I guess, his sacrifice. They shoot up in the air, but bitch, what goes up must come down. Motherfucking bullets coming down. Wednesday and him meet up, and they, you know, hugging and dapping and this, that, and the third. And thank goodness Shadow got back in the car because them bullets is coming down. So they come down, he gets out. And old dude that's there, Wise Only Pass, is he the Wise Only Pass God? I don't know. He's like looking at him, and Wednesday's like, oh, that's Shadow. He's with me. He's like, oh, I've heard about, so it's true. You know, and apparently him and Wednesday, Odin, didn't fought neck and neck. You can see that it ain't no love lost between them, although they faking the funk. You know, and Shadow's like, well, why? Do you trust him? After he tells him, you know, I need you with me. You're going to go with me. I need you to forge me a weapon, a blade out of your fire or whatever. And once he goes to go and do it, Shadow says, well, you know, do you trust him? He's like, I trust him to do what he's always done. And at first you don't know, you know, and I'm thinking hating, you know, nothing but death, murder, death, kill. And then I'm thinking about that gun, because he was like, instead of the knife, the gun, the bullet. And I'm thinking back to the shit that went on at the border. Was that one of his guns forged? Which he and his, where they at, they make bullets and shit. Yes, damn cold is going to turn my ass up. And so I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. I get the hate, the forge, the fire, the bullets, the killing. We the only, you know, I get that. So after he makes his knife, they have the scene where he's like, oh, you already told him. He let the other people know he didn't double cross him. So this is where what Wednesday said, I expect him to do what he, you know, what he would normally do. But then before all that went on, he said there has to be, no, the dude who made the knife said, you know, you need a sacrifice. Because old Wednesday was telling him, you've had blood sacrifice and all of that. He's like telling Wednesday, you need a sacrifice. Unbeknownst to you, honey, you end up being his sacrifice because he cut your motherfucking throat with the shit that you made. You might should have kept up with his ass and known him to do what he's been doing. Cut his motherfucking ass, and then he said, now I got to put the curse on it. Pulls his shit down, pisses in the motherfucking shit, it changes colors. And then you see all of these bullets going out. And again, I'm back to... So I know this got to be symbolic to the shit that went on at the board. And I'm like, okay. Shadow's all tore up like, ooh, you done cut his head and now you're pissing? What the fuck? You know, he's just like, what the fuck? You know, just still not really fully knowing what's going on. Meanwhile, dead ass bitch, the leprechaun and the I'm looking for Jen, they go to a damn bar and shit where it's okay. But she had been told by Anubis and Toph, or whatever, that the dead come out at night and go to the bar. So when she goes in stinking and all of that and smelling a funky ass mingy mess, it's like they don't care. They gonna get her drink. She orders hers. The dude looking for the gin. He asks for a cup of coffee. The damn leprechaun is just throwing shade at her every which way, honey. He'd let that bitch know just how dead she was, how a coochie stink, every motherfucking thing else. I'm like, you know what? Shit. She says that he let me know what it was. And no matter what shade he throws at her, she's still staying the course. And she says, my heart only beat for that. There was this scene where they were talking about them kissing. And he was like, well, was that just cold and stinky? So it smelled like death and cigarettes. And she was like, well, I guess I should have chewed some gum. And I'm just like, what bitch? The fly away, bitch, I can't. Meanwhile, Wednesday is still trying to keep him and wanting to know what he is going to do. Saying he needs to get her out of his head and they need to stay the motherfucking course. You know, they motherfuckers still looking for him. She goes to her childhood home because in the car she said, well, I just remembered I'm not going to see my family again. And she talks about how she didn't really know how to pray, so what she did was pray for them and pray there was an accident, and she said, well, I guess it came true. It was an accident with her. When Wednesday's talking to Shadow, Shadow's able to see where they at, and he's like, where they at, and he was like, at her childhood home. Her breath is not on the window, this, that, and the third. So I guess he's trying to find out where they at, because there's this one scene where old dude is saying, is that the one coming up next? Where the leprechaun's saying, I brought them where you wanted me to bring them at, blah, 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 blah. You know, so she's definitely a threat to what Wednesday wants to do. You know, this one was kind of all over the place. And, you know, I'm really going to have to go back and break some shit down and look into, you know, and look at some other reviews and see how they break this shit down, because again, I haven't read the book and I always end up having to go back and look some of these laws up to be like, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what happens, y'all. That's the bits and pieces I got out of it. At least that's what I wanted to talk about. If, you know, leave your thoughts below, honey. What do you think the whole thing with the Virginia and the gun dude had to do with at the border as they were trying to cross over? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and what's the motherfucking end with the bitch that he was married to? And it just, okay, I'm a little confused. There's only 2 episodes left and I still don't have enough understanding for them to even be thinking about saying there's only 2 more episodes left. You know, so y'all give me y'all thoughts on that shit. That's what I had to say about it. Some of y'all been asking about my hair regimen. It's pretty much, you know, the same as it had been. The only thing that I have implemented in that I hadn't was, virgin hair fertilizer. My girl Goldmouth, she mentioned it on her videos and it really helped like her edges. And I felt like I was getting a little thin and I started using, I had a couple of spots, you know, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to try that. So I got some off of Amazon and I just kind of add that, you know, when I feel I need it, if I remember, I put that in those areas like edges or whatever, you know, maybe twice a week or whatever. But basically for me, I'm still doing the lock method and less is more. I did stop using any other kind of brush, which a brush is not good for your natural hair. I just use a Denman brush, and I find that really does help me to detangle and lose less hair. You know, I think it's important to, you know, do a deep treatment, but don't overdo it. Some people overdo it with the protein and this, that, and the third. Believe it or not, moisture is key, of course, to natural hair. That's any hair, natural, permed, or whatever. Is key. So I think finding that balance, maybe every 4 to 5 weeks, giving yourself some type of, you know, heated treatment, whether it's an oil treatment or whatever, you know. And then, you know, doing your, wash your hair once a week or whatever, you know, I could put water on my hair every motherfucking day and I would still be okay. Because we missed it and shit to kind of go through it. And some people say don't wash it as often. Honey, I will run water through this shit as much as I deem, you know, to be the right thing for my hair, because my hair absolutely loves water. But I do find that I do have to, when I do that, if I'm doing water excessively, oh, it's going to be some heavy oil, honey. I'm going to have to go heavy on the oil, you know. But Hair Hope oil is always going to be in rotation for me, and I've been using it for a couple of years now. And that oil, type it in, look it up, and if you go and get some, let her know Much Love sent you. That oil by far is some of the best oil I have ever put in my hair, and it really did change the process. My hair would have grew anyway, but maybe not at that rate. It just sped up the rate. Plus my hair likes it, loves it, drinks it up. It just makes my hair it just thicker, healthier. That Hair Hope oil is everything. And if you have a really, really itchy scalp, get the one for the dry, itchy scalp. It does work. I get both of them, And when I get ready to go to the Mega Fest, I'm going to get me some Kinky Twist put in, honey, because I think that'll be the best thing to try to wield the motherfucking Dallas weather, okay? But I'll talk more about that when I get, times and spaces and things, okay? But if you want me to come back in and kind of show you what I do, I will tell y'all this. And I had to start doing it. I was one of those that sleep wild. And no matter how I would wrap my hair, the motherfucker would be off around my neck, under my ass, wrapped up. I couldn't keep it on. But I went and got me one of them big ass, ridiculous ass motherfucking bonnets that Tammy Robin had, with them big motherfuckers off of Amazon, for it to stay on. It's important not to be rubbing and doing all of that friction, you know what I'm saying, on your hair. I had to give myself a break off of the wigs for around here. It was just kind of wearing me there. My hair is pretty thick. I've always had super thick hair, but it was beginning to wear. And I think also being pre-menopausal, because I think that's where I'm at, was kind of making me feel like, it's not as thick as what the hell? So, I'm paying a little bit more attention to it or whatever. I say, honey, co-wash once a damn week. Get you some hair hope oil, a Denman brush, protective style, whether it be a wig or whatever. Make sure that you are doing every, I'd say 5 to 6 weeks. Doing you a treatment, one of the best things in the world you can do, though. Let me put you up on it. The style, the motherfucking shit, is get you a hair steamer. That will make, I'm telling you, go on Amazon. They're not as expensive as you think. Shit, last time I looked, they had one that was like $49.99. Y'all, I'm telling you, it will be the best thing for your hair and your face, because as you are under it and doing the hair steamer, baby, that gets to your face and it helps you. It will be the best shit you ever done. Whether you are natural or not, even for my girls that are perm, girl, I'm just saying. And natural, oh, you need that hair steamer in your life. I'm just saying, you need that motherfucking hair steamer in your life. Now, they have various different ones. They have the one that has a little pole where you can put it right, right behind you. And then they have the one you can set up on the table. Whichever one you get, honey, but get that fucking hair steamer in your life. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, so I'll come back in and talk a little bit more about it, and I'll show y'all that virgin hair fertilizer. Like I said, when I remember, like, I think I'm going to go back, like right in there. I'm not losing. It's just the way I pulled it to twist. Up in here, is, I just make sure that I maintain that, because the wigs were kind of getting me on that. And I definitely would say this. A lot of people are using the got to be glue, but it's not glue, but it's actually gel. That shit will tear your motherfucking edges up. I'm just saying, Another thing, that wig band thing that people, do what you got to do for you. That shit will tear your hair up. So I'll come back and talk some more about it. Sorry I didn't hop on for the SCENTSY thing. I just was not feeling well. I just wasn't. I'm telling you, y'all, I had the cramps from hell, and it's like the end. And I don't know, y'all, it was like it had a grip. I've never had cramps as bad as I had the other day. I have never. And it's like, maybe it is because I'm, pre-menopause or whatever, that it is this bad. Like, I've never. It was to the point of tears. And I've heard people say, oh my God, I would cry, I would be out of commission. It had me where I was ready to throw up. Literally. I've never had them to be like that. Like, it was like that intense for a whole hour straight, and then it would, for like, once the Tylenol kicked in, I might have 3 hours and then 4 hours and have to take another one. Like, real talk, I had to take a muscle relaxer and shit. I was like, woo. And that's what kept me from being able to come on, because it had me so, y'all can't take shit, okay? So, but I never have had them to be that bad. Thank you to those who have gave me some, you know, information on things to try and this, that, and the third, please keep that coming. Also, with that said, do I have any loves that are nutritionists? Any? Because I'm going to need some help with some type of meal plan. Do I have any? If I do, please let me know, or how much your service is or whatever. Just hit me up and let me know, okay? Because I need that help. With that said, I'm off of here. Tomorrow will be Help a Sister Out, and I guess the basketball hoes will come out, okay? So I'm out, y'all. This may not have been the video you wanted, but I'm trying to get back at myself, and here I am. So we're going to get with it and, you know, pick up and make it do what it do. Oh, it will be a video coming, that motherfucking cookout shit I don't like, okay? All right? So be looking for that. Get your list. Get your list, because your honey is several things. If you ain't on the Much Love page, get your ass over there and see the post. It's long, but see the post, honey. With that said, y'all, please go over and get y'all some SCENTSY. Get you some SCENTSY. Girl, we got some new stuff. Bring back my bars. It's over there. The emoji warmer, all of that. So get you some SCENTSY. If you not, share the link. However, help your sister out. So I'm out of here, y'all. Much love.